Welcome to Global Glob Presents Level Debug, a show about news and stuff and things in the technology world. Recorded live June 8th, 2026, and I'm right here. Before we start, we want to remind you that the Global Glob news site is updated more often than these videos. Visit globalglob.dev for the latest news in software development, information technology, and technology in general. Then let's get into all the news we've logged over the past week. This week, GitHub's Copilot usage based pricing went into effect. Users are complaining they've spent hundreds or even thousands of credits on a single prompt, leading many to wonder if this is a preview of what will come to other AI tooling. The short answer is yes, and the long answer is yes, it will. Of course, it's still better than requiring users pay an actual arm and a leg. Moving on. Google has signed an agreement to rent data center compute from SpaceX for 920 million US dollars a month for 32 months. Google says the extra compute is for Google Gemini Enterprise. And hey, sorry, there must be like a typo or something. There's no such thing as Gemini Enterprise. It's wait, what? R- really? Since October. Huh. Okay. Um in related news, this past October, Google announced something called Gemini Enterprise, a service to help its customers build AI agents. Back in the present, Google will use SpaceX's compute capacity to serve enterprise customers for AI stuff. I guess I guess people are using it. There's those who know about it at least. Moving on. 404 Media is reporting that many high profile Instagram accounts were taken over when malicious actors prompted the AI support agent to change the recovery email address. After the email address was changed, the attacker would follow normal steps to reset the account password and take over the account. After reaching out, a Meta spokesperson told us, quote, "It'll be fine. AI did a bad job this time, sure, but we'll fix it with more AI. That'll have some issues too, but like all technology, it'll get fixed with even more AI. Uh, we all know the solution to every problem is more AI. We'll ensure this never happens by adding 4 times as much AI as we had before. We've already started a list of employees to lay off in order to fund it." End quote. Hey, do we have to worry about our Instagram account getting hacked? Like, not even a little? Okay. Moving on. The camera company, GoPro, has shared a stock market filing saying they are worried about the company's future due to their financial issues. They say they're struggling due to the cost of RAM rising 80 to 110%, and also to reduced hardware they are able to get from their suppliers. Of course, the blame of those issues are all placed on AI. When asked if they have any backup plans, a GoPro representative emailed us back saying, quote, we're we're weighing all of our options. The frontrunner is pivoting to something simpler, like putting AI in the leftover camera inventory we have and selling compute access to Google. End quote. Moving on. This past week, Microsoft held Build, their yearly AI conference disguised as a developer conference. Among the many announcements, Microsoft has said it is optimizing Windows 11 for developers. Again, it's been a few years, so they have to say it again. This time around, they're adding Windows terminal improvements, developer configurations, Linux CLI utilities, but in Windows, and because they have to, agentic capabilities and on device AI. When reached for comment, a spokesperson said, quote, "We're doing all of this work to improve the daily lives of developers. We want Windows to be the best choice for developers because we couldn't figure out how to sell licenses for Linux while making the same amount of money we do for Windows." End quote. They also announced a really cool looking Surface RTX dev box. So, someone out there, please sponsor the show so we can buy one. We'll put your name right over here and I'll say nice things about you. Nothing made up like all the other news we talk about. No satire about you. Moving on again, a startup called Butco is being sued for renting an Airbnb and leaving a big old mess and damaging property. The startup was allegedly testing a prototype robot in the Airbnb and left scratches, watermarks, and damaged family heirlooms left around the house. The company says they are very sorry, but they'll destroy any family heirloom they have to in order to create the greatest robo butler the world has ever seen. But also, all the damage listed in the lawsuit is just normal wear and tear, totally not their fault. Some are calling this a standard he said, she said disagreement, but we at the Global Glob are calling this a dick move. And moving on to our final story of the day, in a milestone blog post this week, Troy Hunt announced that the data breach site haveibeenpwned.com has loaded its 1,000th data breach. Troy Hunt says that since first creating the site 12 and a half years ago, companies are taking longer than ever to disclose breaches to their customers. There are times where Have I Been Pwned alerts users days or even weeks before the company does so. I okay, hold on. This is me talking. This is rare, but I'm gonna have to agree with the companies here. You know, with regulations like GDPR and CCPA, companies just aren't allowed to know anything about their customers. They want to alert them, but their hands are just tied by regulation, right? No. What part of what I said was wrong? Every single bit. Oh, all right. Well, screw them. And that's all the news that happened this week. If we didn't talk about it, it's not in the logs. Join Level Debug next week when we'll talk about everything that happened between now and then. If you enjoyed the show, tell your friends. If you didn't, tell your enemies. For more news between the next episodes, remember to visit globalglob.dev for hard hitting news technology professionals really care about. If you watch the video, please like and subscribe. If you listen to the audio only podcast, please leave a review somewhere, preferably not someone's tattoo. Until next time, go twiddle some bits.